In this video demo, we're going to have a quick look at Dreamweaver and see how some of the basic functions actually work. When you first open Dreamweaver, you'll get a screen that looks very similar to what we have here, with a number of options on the left, middle and the right of the screen. The left shows the recent files you've been working with. The middle screen shows some of the files that you can create. So HTML, which is hypertext markup link, Cold Fusion, which we won't be using, PHP for some scripts, CSS for our cascading style scripts, which we may use to set our fonts and images we have, some different layouts and fluid grids. For this part of the exercise, you will be getting a basic template which will help you set up all this functionality. I'm just going to run you through and show you some of the common features that you'll use in Dreamweaver. So we click on HTML to create our basic design. We see on the screen there's a lot of options going on around the screen. The first is on the left hand side. We see that we have our basic hypertext markup language listed here, but with nothing actually on the right of our screen. What this just allows us to do is to preview our work as we're actually working through. So for example, if I was to type on the screen, you'll actually have the information come up on the right, and consequently if I type again, you'll see that then will pop up on the left, and we have the symbol here NBSP, which creates a space for a paragraph, and of course our paragraph text that we've got in. And you can delete from this side or the right hand side to help you navigate a few different areas. One of the most common features that people use is needing to put in a background image. So one of the things you'll have to do is to actually create your background image, and I'm going to show you very quickly how to do this in just over a number of videos. This first one, we're going to go to Modify, Page Property, and here we see we've got a few things. We can set the default font that we'd like to use on our page, the size of the font, and this is obviously now a cascading style script, the default text color you can alter, the default background color, or what you're ideally going to be going to is background image. So if I just quickly go and find an image, let's find one there. There we go. We'll find my warped face photo. I select that and go OK. Okay, so what this message has popped up on the screen telling us is that we first need to navigate into our folder section. So what it's telling me is that that picture is not within the area that I've actually set for the document to work. So one of the things you need to realize is that when you create your folders and files, you need to create them all in the same area. So for example, if you had on your H drive or your student drive a folder called websites, within that website you should have another one called images, another one called audio, and you may have any numerous sites, like you may have say another page, and you would have that page linked in there. You want to keep it all relative and all the same. So it's just giving me a little bit of warning saying, hey, when you move that across to the website, if you don't have all your files and folders correct, then this link here won't work. And if I were to upload this, that would not actually work. Go apply, and of course we have that background image now set, and I can now go through and type through the page, and that overlays. One of the other things that you'll use a lot in this is the layout function. So make sure on the top right hand side that the classic is selected. If we move to layout, there's a number of options that we can use here. We have a thing called div tags. Now div tags allow you to navigate and change the way the screen appears. The most common feature that people tend to use is the draw div tag. So if you click on that and you draw on the screen, you can actually insert and keep text just within that one area, and you can extend it as you're obviously writing down. What it allows you to do to make your site, I guess you could say, pretty or navigatable, is you can just click and move it around and it will stay in that relative position. So you might have some photos that you might want to put in there, you might have a video that you want to include, and you'll notice here on the left hand side that we have our relative positions of where it is, where it sits, where it's being moved, and you notice as I move it around the screen, it's actually changing the position on the screen. Some of the other things you can do are to insert videos and audio tags. We'll cover that again in another lesson. This is a very quick basic introduction to get you started with a little bit of a basic background and design. Later on we'll work on creating extra pages and links to those pages, and also look at anchor tags as well.